Hey, welcome back. It's middle of May 2024 and I'm on the boat with my buddy Nir. And after a successful run a couple of weeks ago with Freya, I'm going to take the boat back out, but I realized that the stuffing box is not weeping as much as I'd like to be. So I'm going to try to open that up first and climbing into the cockpit here, get behind the engine, do that, and then we'll start the engine up and take it for a spin. All right, we're right here behind the engine. The engine's up that way. You got the gearbox and the stuffing box right down here. Let's see if I can get my hand out of the way. And you'll see, if you can, that it's dripping once every, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. And that is plenty. So, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it as is. Okay, engine's up and running, quick and easy, getting nearly there. Just gonna stow these hatch boards and tools and let the engine warm up, and we'll take her out. It's not a ton of wind, it's a bit gusty, but we're making way upstream, which is pretty good. Prepare for warp speed. There it is.
Aye,
aye. So we'll just drift downstream, that's all right too. Look at us go!
Oh no.
If you weren't sailing with such a moron, you'd be home by now.
He's gonna give way here in a minute.
He should. Yeah. Whoa! Yeah! There we go!
Yeah! Yeah! Here we go.
It's fickle wind. Trying to do too many things. Okay, that was fun. First time I've had the sails up in a really long time. It might even be close to 2 years, honestly, because I motored all the way down from Washington State. But check this out. This is a little disconcerting. I never noticed this, but this is the lower backstay. Look how loose that is. That's nuts. And I think there is, although I haven't looked at it closely yet, but I think there must be a little bend like this way in the mast. Interesting though, because while we were out and going downwind a bit, which makes sense, but the forestay was pumping a little bit. So maybe that's had an effect. I don't know what's going on here exactly, but something ain't right. I gotta look into that, but has just never happened before, so it's weird. All right, well, we are going to go get some beer and some dinner, and we'll be back and we'll do some more tomorrow. Hey, good morning. It's next day, and we're going to investigate these loose shrouds. something's changed here, and we got to make sure that the rig is still safe. Figure out what caused it. Top of the mast here, and looked at all the connectors, and I don't see any issues with them at all. Around the back, they all look good on all four sides here. I don't see any issue. One thing I did find that I didn't notice about this boat before is behind this there is, where is it, down in here, there is a separate option for another halyard, and it goes out the front too, so I'm actually really kind of excited about that. I can put another one in, so I have ideas that maybe one day I'll add an inner forestay, so another halyard could come in handy. Nir was down below, or is down below there. He's trying to keep the center because it gets pretty hectic up here when the boat's rocking. But we measured the height of the mast and the height of the sail and the forestay, so I can order a new head sail. You can kind of see how much sag there is in that forestay. I just don't understand, if the forestay is so saggy, why the aft lower stays are also saggy. I would expect the opposite. So anyways, this is that wind instrument I disconnected. I've got to go reconnect that at some point and get this piece off. I couldn't do it by hand. I'm gonna have to have like a impact driver, I think, to get these off, or cut them off. I'm not sure, but and another piece of aluminum here. But things look good otherwise. Not that much to speak about. So, but it's a nice day. Okay, well, I inspected the chain plates below. There doesn't seem to be any change of their status. I inspected up high on the mast, and of these lower stays, and there doesn't seem to be any change of status there. So it's a bit perplexing. We do have surface rust right there, surface corrosion. But that's just why I'm replacing all the rigging here eventually. So we still don't know exactly what's going on with this. What I decided to do is we'll take the head sail down and see if we can get inside the furling system without too much difficulty, to at least inspect it, because you can't really inspect that stay with the furler. I could inspect the top of the head stay up the mast, but the lower portion is hidden by the drum of the furling system. So we'll take that sail off and see what we can see. Okay, we got that dirty old head sail out. So the tack is connected by this gaggle, and this should be the halyard, is that right? So let's go ahead and untie this and let that out and see what we can do.
Maybe you should put this.
Okay, I have a marlin spike we can probably get in there to loosen that up.
Take it out completely.
Yeah, I guess probably doesn't matter. Actually, I probably want to get down here. I I want to see if I can get this part of the drum off. That's really what I want to do. Okay, so we took a few things off the top of the drum. I'm hoping that this drum will come up. There's still a pin left here that we haven't taken out yet. And because the furling line is still wrapped around the drum, we're going to take the sail off completely so we can spin the foil around as much as we want without the sail getting in the way. Nothing like working with brand new lines to make your job easier, huh? Yeah. Okay, here comes the hard part right here. So it's gonna
Stop.
I know. I'm pulling the whole boat, so just give me a sec. Occurs to me just now that we didn't take any video of the thing actually being off.
The agency brought me to help Owen's ratings. I'm here to appeal to a crowd which is less smart than Owen's usual crowd, with the hope that with my beauty, more of the right kind of audience is going to be able to participate in this beautiful adventure.
Exactly. Well said. Maybe it's this line. It's just so bound up in this little tiny crack.
Maybe it is.
Something. It's just not going. Of course, for all we know, it could be the halyard at the top too. Okay.
Wait, here we go.
Okay, Nir found that the central dome light in the boat is, well, it's leaking above that. It's leaking at the wires, I suspect, but we're gonna have to look at that. For the time being, though, I'm gonna just go ahead and put another turn on the backstay to try to bring up a little slack on the front. Not too much, just a tiny little bit, and then I'll turn toward those aft lower stays and put some tension on those. Well, I got the backstay tensioned up. The two aft lower stays tensioned. They're not as tight as the front ones. I don't want them that tight, but they're better than they were. But this is, I told you I saw some water, or Nir found some water and down below. And this used to be the culprit. This little gland here for the mast lights. And I sealed that off pretty good previously. This is for the anemometer that doesn't exist up there anymore. This is the VHF wire, and it is nice to see that this comes apart here, so I can take the mast down. The anemometer, I'd have to cut this back, but I suspect that it's just some sort of connect right there. But this is the problem here. I don't know if you can see that, but that wire right there is broken. Must have stepped on it or something. So I kind of had planned to replace the antenna wire anyways, but now it looks like it's a must. I don't know from where the leak is. I don't know if it's back here or if it's one of these two. But I guess when I get into the mast here and redo the wiring, I'll pull these glands off, clean them up, replace them as needed, and reseal them. Well, I did it. I went ahead and I bought a new chart plotter. I didn't think I was going to. It was really kind of spur of the moment, but this is the story. This unit right here, it's a 2009, I think, Garmin GPS map 3205. I'm just reading that right there. And it works fine. It shows me depth. It gets depth information from the transducer. And it's a decent device. The problem is that while it came with the boat, it was already obsolete. That means Garmin didn't provide or wasn't providing any further chart updates. It's not updates for the firmware, the operating system of the device. They weren't even providing chart updates that I could install here. And so, you know, that's just a real safety risk. Those of you who have been watching my channel for a long time know I've complained about this before. I've been intending to forgo a chart plotter device and instead use a tablet or a laptop or something like that where I could have redundancy and so forth. But honestly, they just don't work well for this boat, this setup. I'd have to have some sort of mount exterior. If you start looking at those kind of devices with bright enough screens to use in full sun, they get very expensive. I'd have to kind of change the mounting system. This is a full-on ram mount that the previous owner put in, or someone before me put in. And it's already set up for a device like this where I can hide it away. It gives me depth. Anyways, lots of reasons. Today, it was kind of spur of the moment. But I was looking at this and I'm like, I just decided I was wondering if I could find something that was similar form function. I could just pop it right on here and keep going. And here we have it. I thought I was going to spend upwards of $1,500, $2,000 for something, and I'm not. I actually got it. This was only $400, and it does everything I need. I bought with this. This is an NMEA 2000 backbone, essentially, with two spurs. Just a little starter kit. Provided by Anchor. I got all this stuff at West Marine, which is local to me here. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to remove this old device with this device, and that will get me my charts and my GPS position. And then via this backbone here, this NMEA 2000, I can get the AIS data from my standard Horizon VHF radio, which is an AIS receiver, and it will broadcast that information over NMEA 2000, so I can get that information up on the new chart plotter. And then while my old depth transducer, my old depth sounder won't work with the new device, I am going to buy a replacement that is a through the hull transducer, so I don't have to. I can close off the old hole. I don't need to use that, or I can have it as a redundant unit if I want to. But and while it was never appealing to me and I didn't want to spend extra money for it, this new device here is what they're called, their Echo Map. I'm not sponsored. I actually wrote off Garmin because I didn't like what happened with this device up here and how it became obsolete, even though it worked just fine. But for the price, the interface is real straightforward. First off, I want to see what this connection is back here. I don't think it's anywhere near the same, but I thought how nice if I could just use this cable that's already present here. So anyways, that's just what that looks like. Let's see what it looks like on the new device. Power is that red one on the left, just 4-pin NMEA 2000 sonar, and then what's this? Ping. I can't read that. I don't have my glasses on. Whatever that says, which I won't use either. So I'm not going to do sonar. Well, I would do sonar because the sonar is actually going to be my depth. NMEA 2000 for the for AIS, and of course the power. So, but the power is different. So let's see what we've got with that. Here's the power cable, and so I'll route that and at least get this thing powered up. Okay, I did not install the new chart plotter because I want to make sure I have depth. I have depth on this one, and I wanted to make sure I remained having depth when I put this new one in, and I will have it. It looks like I can do it without trouble. Oh, where is it? It's up there. Done. Anyway, so this is going to stay in for now, and we'll be back.